Hello and welcome to Wall Street Training's Advanced Excel for Data Analysis course. Wall Street Training provides financial modeling, valuation modeling, mergers and acquisitions, merger and leverage buyout modeling training to corporations, as well as through public open enrollment seminars and through self-study video-based learning. My name is Hamilton Lin, President and Founder of Wall Street Training, and I will be your instructor throughout this course. My background is primarily in investment banking and mergers and acquisitions, having worked at Goldman Sachs' investment banking research, Bank of America Securities' mergers and acquisitions group, and several other boutique investment banks, again, all focused on M&A. I am a CFA charter holder as well as a CFA instructor. The goal of this Advanced Excel for Data Analysis course is to learn how to be effective and efficient when utilizing Microsoft Excel for data analysis and to crunch large data dumps. This course will allow you to minimize as much manual labor as possible, saving time and performing more detailed analysis quicker. As usual, we'll be fairly keyboard and shortcut oriented, so please have our Wall Street Training add and macro toolbars installed and definitely change your background to gray. Now, I will admit though, we will have to use the mouse for a fair amount of the functions that we will go through today, simply because a lot of the functions and the tools that we'll use in Excel are going to be mouse driven as well as Excel keyboard driven. This course does assume that clearly you have a basic knowledge of Excel and fundamental concepts in finance and valuation, since the data that we will use in this course is going to be centered on finance, but more importantly, that you have worked in Excel before, you know the basics of how to create references and link between cells, etc. Prerequisites for this course, we would highly recommend that you have taken a basic financial modeling course to get comfortable with the Excel, but that is not required, as those are two separately different topics. Some of the techniques that we will learn today include items such as pivot tables, sum if arrays, transpose, working with additional types of arrays, VLOOKUP, subtotals, regression analysis, drop-down boxes, data validation, how to automate row shading through conditional formatting, as well as a simple introduction to macros and creating reusable toolbars and buttons. In that case then, let's just hop right into our Excel file, the first tab, called number 1, Dell blank. Here we have a 5-year daily price history from Dell, downloaded straight from Yahoo or any other data source. And you'll notice here that we have our labels in in row 2 as lowercase. Now, what if your boss or somebody comes to you and says, and they want to be a pain in the butt and say, I would like all of these labels in column 2 to be uppercase. The last thing you should do is sit there and moan and complain and retype everything manually. Here's what I'd like you to do to start off. This is going to tee us up to get us comfortable and used to working in Excel for the rest of this particular module. In cell I2, I want you to say equals upper open parentheses, UPPER. In I2, I want you to say equals upper open paren. Hit the home key to select cell A2 and hit enter. And now, what you have done is grab in that label in all uppercase. Then I want you to go to, how many rows do we have? How many count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So go to I2 again and go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 through column P. And I want you to hit me a control, column O, and hit me a control R. Again, select now from column I2, cell I2 to O2, and hit a control R. And now you bring it all the way across. You should be very comfortable with control R by now. This is a copy paste to the right. In cell I3, your boss comes back to you and says, hey, this is great. You got me everything in uppercase. But guess what? I want everything in lowercase now. Now, before you smack your boss against their head, no worries. In cell I3, I want you to type in equals lower, LOWER, open parentheses. Select cell I2, so hit up arrow. In I3, say equals lower, open paren, up arrow to select I2, hit enter, and bring that cell I3 across to O3 as well, control R. And now you've made everything lowercase. But wait, your boss changes their mind once more, and now they say, I want proper casing. Capitalize just the first letter, which is exactly how you had it before. Now, before you take that shotgun and that bazooka and blow that person to bits in I4, you say equals proper, open parentheses, cell reference to I3. And by the way, these functions that we are going through now are in the additional exhibit that you should have as well, Excel formulas and the basic data manipulation formulas. So you can use that as a handy reference guide as well in our presentation materials section of this module. So now you've got your dates, your labels in the proper casing that you would like. Of course, that doesn't explain how you're now actually going to get that into A2 to AG. You haven't actually updated it. Very simple. By now, you should have, hopefully taken up other courses and know what to do next. And what I want you to do now is let's just select I2 through O2. Let's select that set. That will be our uppercase ones. And take I2 to O2 and hit Control-C to copy. So from I2 to O2, Control-C to copy, hit Home to A2, and hit Alt-E for edit, S for paste special, and then V for values. Again, edit, E for edit, S for paste special, V for values, hit enter, and now you've pasted it in. Of course, you know that in cell I2, you cannot just copy and paste it directly into A2. Why not? You're going to ref out. Because I2 says, give me the value, whatever it is, 7, 8 cells to the left. When you copy it into A2, there's nothing 7, 8 cells to the left of A2. So therefore, you have to be very careful there. Now, let's do a couple more things with this data set here, and then we'll move on. In this data set here, we look at this and we say, well, I got a little problem here. These dates are sorted in reverse chronological order. These dates are sorted reverse chronological order, and what I would like to do is sort them in regular chronological order. So how do I do that? Well, you can go to cell A2 and hit Control-Shift right arrow to G2, Control-Shift down arrow to select everything from A2 down to G1331, which is your 5 years daily stock price. And now I want you to locate this icon up here, A to Z, sort ascending, and simply click on it. There you go. Now, refer back to A2, column A, the top. Take a look. Did this do what you wanted to do? Take a look. April 1st, 2002, April 1st, 2003. Wait a minute. This doesn't sound right. What did Excel do? These dates, when they were downloaded, were brought in as text, not as numbers. Sometimes, most of the time, you won't have this problem. You won't have this problem because Excel is smart enough to know that you want to sort it sometimes. So when you sort this, you're like, wait a minute, this isn't sorted right. What it is it's taking all the 01s for every month, and then it's sorting it by then April, because that's letter A, and then August, etc., and it just goes straight down alphabetically by month. So it'll do all the 01s and do the 02s, and it'll sort it by the years after that. This is clearly not what we want. So the point of this course, and I'm going to set you up because I'm going to set the framework for this, because the point of the course is not to show you how to manipulate dates. That could be a whole nother class by itself in terms of what you could do there. But the point of this class is to demonstrate to you one very simple concept in Excel. And that very simple concept in Excel simply says, anytime you have to do manual labor, there's a way to automate it. There's a way around everything. If you can think of the problem that Excel needs to solve, Excel can do it. That's my personal guarantee to you. Now, 95% of the time, it's an easy fix. You just have to understand Excel. So throughout this course and all the different modules and all the different techniques and tools and functions that we will learn in this Excel for data analysis course will cover, these type of things that we will cover will demonstrate to you that Excel can do 95% of what you're looking to do. It's already built into Excel. You just have to know that it exists. Now, there are certain things that just are not possible. That goes to another realm where we get into VBA Excel coding for Excel, which we're not going to do here. But again, the fundamental concept is as follows. If you need to automate something and do it more than once, there's an easier way. Go to cell H3. Cell H3, I would like you to type in the following formula. Equals date value, open parentheses, equals date value, open parentheses. And then hit the home key to select cell A3. Hit enter. And now you have this number, 37,347 in cell H3. And I know it was only a number of years ago, but it seems like it was 20, 30 years ago when Y2K hit. Remember Y2K? The whole year 2000 thing where, all the digits, the double-digit years, and the whole world was going to self-destruct, and the elevator was going to drop out of the ceiling and that kind of stuff. Well, what is cell H3 doing? This tells us that this is 37,347 days away from a particular date. In other words, back in the old programming days of COBOL, what we used to do was, well, not we, since I wasn't around then, per se, but what was used to be done was to save space on the programming language side, because there's only a limited number of space you had. When they did dates, they put in 2-digit years. Now, since then, obviously we have evolved significantly past that, to the point now where the way dates are calculated, generally speaking, not just Excel, but computers calculate the number of, I believe it's milliseconds, away from January 1st, 1900. January 1st, 1900. So therefore, this tells us that this April, whatever, 1st, 2002 day is 37,347 days after January 1st, 1900. What I need you to do now is grab this cell H3 and drag it all the way down to cell H1331. But you're not going to use your mouse to do that. What are you going to do? Follow my instructions. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, although it's irrelevant because I can't possibly get all 13,331. I could, but you can't see squat, and I can't either. So therefore, in cell H3, normally what one might do would be to take this mouse and drag it all the way down. But you got 1,330. Look, I'm already tired of this. So you're not going to do that. How's the fastest way to do this? Well, I would like you to hit left arrow to column G. Go left arrow anywhere on column G, doesn't matter where, and then hit control down arrow, which jumps you to the bottom at 1331, row number, column G. Now I want you to hit right arrow to H1331. And now, when you hit right arrow to H1331, now I want you to hit, you're on that cell, hit Control Shift Up arrow to select all the cells from H1331 all the way up to cell H3. Now, what I would like you to do is hit the Control D, and you will copy and paste everything from cell H3 down to H1331. Don't navigate away yet. Now you have everything selected. And just to show you, watch my screen. I'm going to scroll, but I'm not going to deselect my stuff. I'm actually hitting scroll lock so you can see that every single cell now in column H on the board behind me, what you'll see is that it's going down and it's copied this formula into every single cell down below, all the way from H3 to H1331. So you should never have to manually hit shift page down or shift down arrow or hit your mouse or whatnot, never. So therefore, in cell H3 to H1331, you still have everything selected. What I would like you to do now is hit copy or Control C for me. Hit Control C, hit home, which gets you to A1331. I'll tell you what, hit Control Home instead. Let me zoom out a bit so you see that my column H is still actively selected. Hit Control Home, jump you to cell A1 and go to A3. Again, you cannot copy paste this directly because you don't have anything, 8 columns to the left of column A. We want to copy whatever's in H into A, and I want you to hit Alt-E for edit, S for paste special, V for values once again, hit enter. And now, first of all, you see 2 things happen. Column H goes to bits, pound value. We don't care about that. We're going to delete it. We don't need it. But column A now, the formatting changed a bit because it took the date format. Here's what I would like you to do. Go to cell H2, A2, the date, which is in caps, hit up arrow. Control Shift right to G2, Control Shift down to A1331. Now, click on the A to Z sort ascending icon. Now click on it. And there you go. Now your dates are all properly formatted. Not properly formatted, properly sorted. And you have January 3rd, January 4th, January 5th, January 6th, etc. Of course, there's no weekends here on this data set. So now, what you have done is automated and automatically converted everything to dates all you had to know that there's functions like date value, functions like upper, lower, proper, etc., sentence casing. You can do all of that here in Excel. What I like to do now is to very quickly, and I'm sure the vast majority of you know this already, just in case you didn't, there are basic functions, taking the max, min, high, average, low. So in cell I7, I'm just going to type this in. I want the maximum, I want the high, the low closing stock price from column G. Actually, we actually want to take it from column E, the close, not the adjusted close, because Yahoo counts it weird. In I6, I'm just going to type in, if you know the max, min, average, and median function, don't worry about it. Just skip right by this. So you can say high, average, median, and low. And the formulas for those in J6, I'm going to say equals max. That's the max function. It's not the high function. It's max, open paren. And I'm just going to go to cell E3, Control-Shift down arrow to select E3 through E13, 31, hit Enter. And there you go, you got your max function there. And if you want, you can retype the whole thing and say equals average and do the whole thing again. There are shorter ways to do this, which I've gone through in my other courses. But that's fine. Median, and then low is min. So again, any kind of data manipulation that you want to do, just about Excel can do it. And also, there's obviously a lot of statistical functions and whatnot. Your best bet isn't really to pick up a book in Excel. Your best bet is to say, well, I want to do this. You have to know what you're trying to do. And then you go ahead and just do a quick search in their Excel help, and you should find it. You do their formula lookup dialog box, and that's pretty good as well. Again, the key here that I want to stress, which is the key assumption going forward for the rest of the little modules in this overall Advanced Excel for Data Analysis course, is the mere fact that if you can think of it, it can be done. If you're doing anything that's manual labor, you're doing anything more than once, maybe twice, okay. Do anything more than once or twice, I will personally guarantee you there's almost always, of course that's my caveat, right? I will personally guarantee you, but it's not a money back guarantee, and I'll personally guarantee you almost always, there's going to be a way to automate it in Excel. And since you have now taken this course, you can always, by the way, go to our free resources section, go back to our website, wallstreettraining.com, WALST-training.com, or Wall Street Training Self-Study, WST-selfstudy.com. There's a link there for Ask the Wall Street Training Expert. If you have a quick question, you can always email us and say, hey, I'm trying to do this. Is there a simple way to do it? If there's a simple way and we know it off the top of our heads, you get an immediate response. Now, this wraps up this particular little short module. When we come back, we'll look at our switches alternatives page, our switches alternatives. See you there.